Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Thelma's Creations and More, where today we will be doing, excuse me, part 2 of the Lavender and Lace Journal Kit Craft With Me video. This is a Craft With Me showing you the project, the design team project that I will be making for nevermorecreations17.com. Using her Lavender and Lace Journal Kit. In the last video, I did a flip through, or I showed you the kit that I will be using. And I showed you the process that I go through when I print out or when I look at a kit. We went through the kit. I pointed out or showed you or let you know what I was doing as far as processing the kit, my thoughts throughout it, which was go through the kit and look at the backgrounds and pick up on the details. And I told you that sometimes I just keep it in my head and another time I write it down in a piece of paper. And so we went through the kit together, and I was pointing out things that were in the kit that helped me pick out things that I have, you know, in my crafty stash here at home, or if I'm at the store, at the thrift shop, or Etsy, online, eBay, Amazon, etc., etc. It helps me pick out what to use in my project. And so we made this list together as we went through the kit, and then I take there we go. Then I take this list with me in my craft closet, and you know, wherever it's a shelf that I have in my closet that I have shoe boxes full of stuff, and so then I get to go pick out whatever's on the list, kind of put it aside for when I start working on my creation. So for this month, for March 2019 design team project for nevermorecreations17.com, I chose to do travelers notebooks. I went through the kit, and this is what I've come up with so far. I will show you what I have so far. What I did was I took the pages and I chose what I wanted to use in my traveler's notebook. And I put them together. So let me show you. What I did was I made a stack of the pages that I wanted to use. I ended up having enough to do two of them. Or I have enough to do two of them. So what I did was I created a stack of the papers that I wanted to use. Also, from my stash, I took out some coffee dyed paper. Let me see, did I? Yes, coffee dyed paper. And then I had tea dyed, some paper that turned out a lovely like violet color. So it went perfect with this. So let me show you what I have. So I picked out this page from the kit. And this is one of my violet dyed papers. How I made this paper, this kind of paper, you could see, I was supposed to be doing some pink dyed paper, but I grabbed the wrong tea from my cupboard. I ended up grabbing some hibiscus tea and some passion fruit tea, and for the pink I only use passion tea, not passion fruit, passion tea, which is a lovely pink. Well, I ended up grabbing one of those and a hibiscus one, and so when I mixed, but when I poured the hot water, it turned purple. And well, I was already there and I didn't want to throw away that tea. And so I used it and I dyed some 28-pound copy paper. And I also mixed some tattered, Tattered Angel mist. I wish I could tell you the color, but the ones that I have for some reason do not have the color. Let me grab one. They don't have the color, so it only has the color it's supposed to be when you finish. I don't know if you can see. It's like, this one's like a, it's this one. It's the one I used there. See how it's like gold and pink at the same time? And so it is Tattered Angels, but I bought mine on Tuesday morning a while back. And it doesn't have the color. It just tells me what it's supposed to look like. And you can't really, there we go. It's like a pink goldish color. See it? So I mixed a little bit in with a tea. And I dyed them. But they turned out violet or purple. And so I put them aside, and it worked great here. So, this was the first one from the kit. Then I did a violet. This was also from the kit. Then I did just regular coffee dyed paper that I had. This one was from the kit. It's beautiful. The violet one. And you decide how you want, how do you want to put your papers. I like to alternate them, kind of like a pattern sometimes. Sometimes I just do it at random. In here, you could put receipts, graph paper, any kind of things that you want to put in your booklet. And this is going to be a travel size one. So this will be my first one. I love using these big paper clips. I got them at all places. Of all places, my grocery store carries these big ones. Why, I have no idea, but it just does. So that's just one. And I'll tell you what measurements I use to cut them and everything. But I wanted to show you which ones I... excuse me, I picked from the kit. And I picked this one as well. Excuse me. Spring is here, guys, which means my allergies are going to go haywire. But anyway, I chose this one. I love this, the little ribbon and all the background. And so you decide what you want to put in your notebook. This was going to be a travel size. I've seen graph paper, scrapbooking paper, news clip arting, clippings, doilies. You can, anything you want to put in there. I steer away from using that stuff because I like to use my items to journal on, and I wouldn't be, me personally, I would not be journaling on receipts or stuff like that. That's just my my preference, right? So so I tend not to put what I don't like in my journals. So I took the paper, and did I leave any hole? No. Let me just use this one as reference. This is from another kit, but it's an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and it has a little white border, like I told you on the part 1, and I trimmed it. So I had this. I layered them how I wanted them in my book. And then these are the measurements. I trimmed them to 9 wide and 8.5 long. So when you fold it in half, you're gonna end up with 4.5 wide by 8.5 long. Now you can do it any size you want. I just chose to do this one. And so I took the pages and I trimmed them down to what I told you, which was 9 wide and 8.5 long. And then all I did was I folded them in half, all the pages. Now I already trimmed these so that they could be quote unquote uniform. When you stack pages inside of each other, the more you stack, you'll get a you'll get your page will start sliding down, meaning that the first one and the last one you put on, there's gonna be a gap because you're stacking them up inside of each other, and so they'll start fanning out this way. So after I put them together, like 2 pages or 3 pages. I would put them together, go to my paper cutter, and cut at the 9. You know, the measurements I gave you, the 9 by 8.5, so that they could be uniform. At the end, after I took the 2-3 pieces of paper and did that to each other, I put them inside, and you still get a little fanning, or like the first one, and then the last one, it kind of still fans out. I will leave that like this because it doesn't bother me. It sticks out a little bit, but it is okay with me. If I wanted to, I could go back and cut it, but I refrain from doing that. I don't do that at this point. I will do it when or until I sew my signatures in. So before I sew my signatures in, I put them together. I bind them. You can use staples or string or rubber bands, even hair ties, to put them together. Before I do that, I decide if I'm going to leave the corners as is, or if I am going to round them. But first, I need to make sure that they are butted up against each other, meaning they're all the way through, they're all kind of lined up. And I need to check if I'm happy with the way they line up here on the side. Reason being, if I decide to corner round the corners, I can corner around them, but then if later I decide I don't like the way it looks here on the side, guess what? I'm going to have to trim, and I'm going to have to redo the corners. So this is a place where I have to decide if I'm going to leave them straight or if I'm going to corner around the corners, and if I'm happy the way it looks. So I think I'm going to leave that the way it is. I think I'm going to cut it, but I think I cut one. Let me see, what did I do? Yeah, I only cut one. Okay, perfect teaching opportunity, as my teachers and professors would say. So I'm going to take out my cutter, and I'm going to show you how to trim off the axis. Now, you have to make sure that you keep all the papers where you folded them in the middle together, and you kind of butt them, or I kind of like tuck them in. You hit them to make sure that they're straight, as straight as you can get them. It's not something that's absolute. I always say this is a handmade product, and you're gonna have some default or some defects or some uniqueness about it, because it is a handmade product. So what I do is, I know that when I I fold it in half, it needs to be 4.5. So I lined up the spine, this part, the folded part, at 4.5. And then right here, right, is where the blade is going to cut. And let me get up. Oh my goodness. Oh, it takes me a while, guys. Oh, okay. Right here is where the blade is gonna cut, and so I lined it up at 4.5. So when I fold it, it's gonna be 4.5. I push it all the way up, make sure that this line right here is right center, you know, right next to it. And so you will notice where it's going to cut here. You see all this extra? That is extra. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this down, and I'm just going to take my paper cutter, and I'm going to go back and kind of remove these, and then I'm going to go front. Oh, and it's going to fall down. This cutter, for some reason, oh, now I need to butt it up again. I moved it. For some reason, the blade comes off, and I think it's me that's putting too much pressure. Well, anyway, I'm just going to move it back and forth, and what it's doing is cutting through those papers. But I can't remember. I didn't count them. I think I put 10 papers. Since it is 10 papers in there, it's not going to do them all at once. I can push down if I want to, but that's not going to happen. Oh, come on. And like I say, I know it's me. I push against that. Anyway, and the blade comes off, but I love this paper cutter. Excuse me. And I'm going to flip it around. I had it like this. I'm going to flip it around, and I'm going to do the same thing. 4.5. I'm going to butt it up against the top. I'm going to put it back under the cutter, and I'm going to go up and down and see how it's cutting it. Some of them will cut, some of them won't. It kind of cuts halfway. There we go. It did it. Yay. So then I take that little piece off with my cutter. And so see, now it's all flush. Look at that. You do get a little bit that is not there. And why is that? Because that's the one it didn't cut. And so I go back, and it's already kind of cut right there. You could see the line. It just left a little piece on there. Okay, so I go back with my scissors. The line is already there. The reason it didn't go through it is because, of course, I think I have 10 pages, so that would be 20. There we go. It was just that one. And so now it's nice and flush. And I'm going to do that to the side. This one's the way it is. So it's 9, I mean, not 9.5. It's 8.5. I'm going to push it all the way to the edge. 8.5. Okay. It's just one paper. For some reason, I guess it moved. So I can do this one with my scissors. And all I'm doing is kind of like cutting it off. Yep, it's just one. And so now, see how the edges are nice and together? I'm going to take my scissor, my paper clip, put that together, and now it's done. I wanted to show you the process of doing that because I did not know how to do that. And it took me a while. Excuse me. To figure that out. Let me take a drink of water. It took me a while to figure out how to do it, or that it works better when I would do it on my paper cutter versus before. I would have all this fanning and I would go with my scissors, but the scissors doesn't do, or at least I didn't do a good job using my scissors. So again, I'm going to kind of butt them in there, you know, kind of move them around, and this one's too. So again, my measurements when folded is going to be 4.5. I'm going to put it in my paper cutter, push this down and go up and down to cut as much of that paper that I can. Go up and down, up and down, up and down. And you'll feel it when it stops cutting. Then I'm going to keep butting that in, turn it, flip it around, 4.5, up on the top. Make sure this is kind of straight, kind of like I said. Is it going to be perfect? No, because it's handmade. But, you know, that's the beauty of our creations. Nothing that, or at least mine, nothing that I do handmade or created by Thelma's Creations and More is perfect. I try my best, but you always will find little details. Okay, you see here? I guess I had stopped. I stopped not at the end of the paper, so all of them are like that. So you just use the other ones as your guide and snip it off. Okay, what is on my, oh, this is stuck. Okay. So I kind of trim it, and here, put it in. Why is that? Let me see what happened here. 4.5 all the way to the top. Okay, there we go. And make sure you go up and down past the paper, all the way up, all the way down past the paper, so you don't end up with what I ended up with. on the other side. And so again, 4.5. It's gonna be a little bit more, a little bit shy of 4.5 this one, but that's okay. I moved it. That's why I'm having to. Man, I need a new blade. Okay. Let me see. So now I have to trim it because I know I moved it on the paper. I felt it on the paper cutter. I moved it. I butted it. But you know, it's a perfect teaching opportunity, as I say, because you get to see, as I call them, real life. See, sometimes the paper will get cut like that. You know what? It adds texture to your journal. I like to call these occurrences real life problems of crafters. Stuff that happens in real life. And so, for example, if you're looking at this video and you say, oh, I'm going to follow along, or I like that idea, though, I'm going to do it. And then you do it, and then you end up with this kind of scenario at home. And I don't address it, or you don't see it in my video. When I was first starting out and doing this, or crafting, or whenever I see a YouTube video and I try to attempt it and I run into problems like it doesn't match up, it's like this, it's cut that way, I would be like, ugh. And guess what I would do? I would throw it out and start again, because I was like, I just ruined it. Well, I'm kind of glad that I'm showing you as we go, and it's a perfect teaching moment. And here I'm trying to clean up my little paper cutter. There we go. Of all the little scraps. Let me remove this because it's gonna drive me nuts. I'm glad that is happening, quote unquote, on camera, because I want to show you what everybody goes through. I love watching YouTube videos that you know, show it's a clean tutorial, meaning the video is the video is clean, it's nice and edited, everything goes perfect. You know, I do enjoy those kinds of tutorials. However, what do you do, or me, what do I do when I'm trying to follow the tutorial and something goes wrong? Like I told you, the paper isn't lined up. You move over the paper. Before, because I didn't know any better, or excuse me, I'm trying to blow my nose over here without making noise. Excuse me. Oh, I tell you, every time the weather changes, my allergies go haywire. But anyway, so going back, when I would do the tutorial, I still do tutorials on YouTube, right, that I want to try or I want to do. You know what? This thing is bugging me because it's dirty. Let me see if I can find my wipes. So what do you do when you make a mistake, or it moves over and it's not quote unquote perfect, or it doesn't look like the tutorial? What do you do? Well, you go on, you use it. How do you use it? How do you disguise it? How do you push through that? Well, I'm showing you. You make it work. You make it work, and you make it your creation. This is just hand sanitizer. It is a best cleaner, in my opinion, when you're crafting, because, let me pick this up. This is just a tip, since you're on here and you're seeing the real life of a crafter. You know, we use glues. I don't know if you can, let me see. Oh man, I have to get up again. Okay, right here. You know, I don't know what you use when you're crafting, but I use a whole bunch of stuff. I use paint, I use distress ink, I use regular ink, I use all sorts of glues, Eileen's, I use fabric tack, I use Elmer's glue. You know, there's a ton. And so I have found that using hand sanitizer, it helps take off the glue. I let it sit for a little bit, and then I just wipe it right up, as you're seeing right here. This is fabric tack because I was gluing some lace, actually, on a project. The distress ink, I have found, of course, if you put it with water, right, it reacts. It does all sorts of cool things when you want to do it on paper. However, if I have it on a surface like this matte thing, I find that if I clean with any water-based cleaner, it goes everywhere. Because, well, that's what it's supposed to be, right? It not bubbles, but it creates different ripples and, excuse me, guys, but, I want to sneeze so bad. It creates all sorts of bubble effects. It runs, you know, it kind of runs away from the water, right? Because that's what it's supposed to do. So that when you put it and you want to distress, you want to put it on paper, that's one of the cool things that distress inks does. So I found that when I'm cleaning my mat and it has distress ink, which in my case it will, because I distress on top of my mat. Sometimes I use a little clipboard I have to distress on top of that whenever I remember. But I found that when I use hand sanitizer, it just comes right off. It doesn't really mess with the ink. The ink doesn't react to it. And so I get a nice clean there. It was driving me nuts. Let me see right here, right? And so I'll just put hand sanitizer there. Let it sit for a little bit. And it'll come right off. I've noticed also when I do my stamping, when I put water, sometimes it goes all over the place. If it's not permanent, if it's permanent, I do the same thing. I put the hand sanitizer and it takes it right off. So, now where did I move my, there we go. Now I have 2 of these journals. So now, excuse me. Oh my goodness. Now I get to play. So I get to play, and I do want to round the corners. So I'm going to take my crocodile, and this one that has a 1/2 inch rounder and a 1/4 inch, and I think I'm going to do the 1/2 because I like the rounded corner. If you do not have a corner rounder and you want to have round corners, I suggest you take anything circle, and whoops, anything circle, you put it on the corner. Oh man. You put it on the corner, and you see how I'm taking off this corner. Then you would take, or you could take, a pencil and mark. Oh, let me see if you can see it. I did it so light you can't see it. Let me go over it. For example, I just kind of went over it naked-eyed, but you take the rounder, anything round that you have, you put it there, you say, okay, great, I like that. Then you're going to take your pencil and you're going to mark it. And then you go back with your scissors and take it off. And you're going to do it for like the first one, and then you have a pattern. So you'll cut it here, and then this will be shorter than the next one, right? So then you take 2 or 3 and you cut them, and then you take the last one and you cut that in until you finish, in case you don't have a corner rounder. During my tutorials, I always try to remind myself to tell people how to do it in case you don't have the tool. Why? Because I remember when I didn't have tools, and I would get upset because of course I didn't have the tools. and I didn't have the money at that time to go purchase the tools. And of course, you see it on a tutorial, right? And you like the way it looks, yet I didn't have the tool and I didn't have the money in my budget at that time or whatever. There we go. Sometimes you have to do it twice. And I would get upset because I was, oh, it would look so much better if I had the corner rounder. And I didn't know how, okay, let me take this off, how to do it or how to achieve the look without, I'm sorry guys, I'm moving it around because my corner rounder didn't, or I didn't grab the paper as I wanted to. I didn't have the tools and I didn't know how to do it without the tool. And so I would be upset because I wanted it to look like the tutorial, or I wanted that look and I didn't have it. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right, Doma. Take smaller chunks. Okay, what's going on here? Real life problems of the crafter. There we go. For some reason I was grabbing, it's crooked or something. There we go. And it was not cutting it the same. Okay, great. This one. So in my tutorials, I don't ever want to forget when I didn't have the tools. And I wanted to do it like, you know, the tutorial was showing me and I couldn't do it and I would get frustrated. So I like to show you how to do it without the tools. In case you don't have them, I know at least you have a pair of scissors. And I can show you little things I learned along the way. And how I had to deal with it without tools. Another tip that I am going to give you is, for example, this corner chomper, this crocodile thing here. Regular price is like, gosh, I think it's like $24, $25. I did not pay $24, $25 for that. I don't buy anything full price. I only buy stuff when it's on sale. And how do I do that? Excuse me, I had to take a drink of water. I keep up with the sales in my craft stores in my area. Hobby Lobby, Michael's, whatever you have at in your area. They change their ads every Sunday. You'll see the new ad for the week. So whether I every Sunday I will look, this one I bought at Hobby Lobby. So I will go and I will put hobbylobby.com and I'll look at their weekly ad, and so it tells me what's on sale. And I see whatever is half off. I know that these are $25. If you can find them half off, then it'll be $12, right? I got a better deal on this because I think it was last year. I don't remember, because I pick up stuff all the time. They were having, Hobby Lobby was having a clearance sale. They were clearancing stuff out. When I go to Hobby Lobby, I try to go to Hobby Lobby every week. Does that mean I buy tons of stuff at Hobby Lobby? No. Reason I go to Hobby Lobby, I try to go at least every week or at least every 2 weeks. Because I walk their aisles when I can. My back is, you know, crazy messed up, and sometimes I'm in too much pain to do that. But if I have to, I will go and get in that store. They have a wheelchair. I will sit on the wheelchair and I will wheel myself around the whole store, aisle per aisle. Why? Because they put stuff on clearance and you never know what you're going to find. And so I am already there. I make sure I have time and I go with whatever budgeted money I have for that week or that month or the 2 weeks or however you have it. Sometimes there'll be a $20 bill. Sometimes there'll be more. Sometimes there'll be $5, $2. So I go through the store and I found this one time and I paid $6 for it. I said, oh, I'm taking that one. I know it's $25. And I found, I think 3 other different ones, and I bought them. So what's the moral of the story is no budget is small enough for you to build your craft stash. I have quite a bit of tools. Thank you, Jesus, and thank you to my husband. But I do it the way I just explained. I buy it on sale when it's half off. So now, for example, if I wanted to buy like this one's another one. This one does a stub and a scallop, and the same thing. I found it for $6 something. But let's say I was gonna go and I had $25 and they're half off. Instead of buying one tool, I'm gonna come home with two. I may have to wait a couple of months to save up the $25. Or I just might be blessed enough that when I go, I find them for $6 something each. So with tax, it came out to $7 something each. And I am blessed. I say I am not lucky, but I am blessed when I go and I find stuff like that. So no budget is small. None of it. If you have $1, trust me, whatever is half off, sometimes you find all Paper Studio half off. So you look, I don't have anything in packages, but you go down the aisles and you go find what's a Paper Studio and it's half off. And you can get it, like for example, this one right here. I like to use lace in my journals, right on the tags and in the journals and such. Look at the price. Regular price, $4.99. Guess what? I bought this when it was half off. So now what cost me $4.99, I got this for $2.50. Look at all the lace I have. So now, instead of coming home with one lace, I came home with two. A cream colored and a white colored for $5. See, I walked in and out of Hobby Lobby. I left with, paid $5, I think with taxes $5.25, but I got two of them. Instead of going and buying them regular price and just try not to cut the lace, there you go, and just come out with one. So this one's cream colored and this one's white colored. That's how I make my money stretch. Now, depending on what you need, if you need tools, save up for tools. Like this one is Tim Holtz. I don't remember, I think maybe $15 or something. I waited till they had a 40% off. Hobby Lobby has a 40% off. That this was one of, I think my husband bought it for me for Christmas or something, because he knows I love my craft stuff, right? So he bought it for me, I believe for Christmas or something like that. He bought it for me, or my birthday. No, I think it was for Christmas, because I love tools for my craft room. And so that's how you build up your tool stash. Now now these are ready to, oh, I need to do this. I'll do this one off camera because I already showed you how I did it. So these are my projects for March. I am going to be doing 2 travel size notebooks. Notebook inserts. This go inside of the traveler's notebook. But I like this kind of journal because it fits really well in a purse. I love the way it feels in the hand. I will say this over and over. I love stuff that you can grab, put in your purse, in your tote bag, on the shelf. You grab it, you take it out. It's a perfect fit for my hand. If I want to take it into a store and make this my to-do list, my grocery list, right? I can put this here. My grocery list here. I'll be walking into H-E-B, which is, to me, is my grocery store, or Walmart, or wherever you go shopping. It will fit nice here with my card in here or in the pocket, or my purse is a little kind of like a wallet. So I put the wallet and this together, I grab it in my hand, and I'm out. I am shopping for my groceries or whatever, and I have it here. I have my list, I do it, and it's a perfect size. So that's why I decided to do these. I'm so excited that I got 2 out of 1 kit. Off camera, I will be doing this, doing the corner rounding like this. So now it's time to decide, oh my goodness, how we're going to, okay, we're at 40 minutes. I have still 20 minutes to go. How we're going to embellish Oh my goodness. Oh, sorry, my back. Anyway, how we're going to embellish with embellishments. What are we gonna do? I was gonna use this in one of the notebooks, but I decided not to. On my channel, and the reason I have this, I'll show you why. On my channel, there's a tutorial on how to do a pocketed tag, which is this right here. And I did it, and it's already done. I wanted to show you how to do it, but there is a tutorial on my channel, and I'll link it below in the description box, that shows you how to do this. That shows you how to do it. In my little bag of junk journal ideas and templates, I have, is it this one? Here you go. I have a template that I made, that I put in there, and this is what it makes. What I want to show you is how do I make the most use of my excuse me, of my kit. Okay, what I did was I took a cream colored 8.5 by 11 cardstock. I chose a darker lilac and a lighter lilac, and then I took one of these from the kit, and I made different elements of this pocketed tag. So what did I do? I took those three things. One from the kit, another color, and three colors. 1, 2, and 3. And so how do you decide what colors to use? Remember that little list that we took down? Where did I put it? Right here. And we wrote down the colors. Well, that's what I did. I looked through the cardstock or paper that I had, and I said, oh, I have purple, I have creams, or whatever. Now take the one from the kit and look at your papers. See how they match? They coordinate, they match, they go well with, they match, they look, the cream, the lilac, and then the darker one. You could have even used green here, but that's what I chose. Then I took my template, because I have this template. Like I said, I will link the tutorial down below in the description box. And since I have the template, right, it tells, I wrote down the the measurements. I took the one from the kit, and because I have the template, I can put it down and I can decide where I want my things. If not, I have the measurements and I can just go on my paper cutter and cut them out. Now this one I already had trimmed to be inside of here, and then I decided not to put it in there. So in a regular paper, when I trim off the white, I would have enough, because that's why I did this right here. I did these measurements to give me, where's the other little thing? Out of a 8.5 by 11, you'll get a tag. You'll get the tag base, which is this, with the pocket, the tag, and a journaling card out of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. In other words, you don't want anything to go to waste. You'll have a couple of scraps, but you'll do it. So that's what I did. I traced around it, or I cut it out with my paper cutter, and I did that to those 4 sheets of paper. One from the kit, one for the cream colored, one for the darker purple, and one for the lighter purple. So all I did was I mixed up, let me see the journaling. I know I have them because I did it right here. 1, 2, and then I don't think I got, oh yeah, I got one. And I mixed it up. I put the lilac with the paper, the one from the kit. All this was on 1 sheet of paper. I put them here. So I did that one with this one. The darker colored with a cream. And this one. See, I matched them. Why did I do 3? Because in the beginning I was going to do 3 of these, but I didn't like them because they were thinner and I wanted them a little chunkier. So I ended up with 2. So I'm going to have an extra one, and that is fine. The tag from the kit and the base I didn't use. See the back part? So I have 2. And then I had 3. So now I mixed them. And I think I did this one like that. And I think I did this one here. So all I'm doing is mixing them up. And then these were the journal cards. See how this one came from that one? So I'm going to put it here. And then this one, I don't want it here because it's the same color. So I'm going to put it here. The one from here, I miscut it. I miscut the wrong one. This was a journaling card like this one. But I thought it was this pocket, and it wasn't. Just when I cut it and scored it, it came out to be smaller. So now I don't have a journaling card here, but I just might put this one here, and then, let me show you. No, not with these scissors, because those scissors leave like little teeth marks. And so, nothing ever goes to waste. You just cut off, in this case, the score lines, and I'm going to do this straighter, and this one too. Nothing ever goes to waste. We can use it some way, somehow. Some way, somehow. So perfect. Let me grab my glue, which is... Where is my glue? Right here. I swear that the glue and my table, my craft table, and the scissors will hide from me. Do yours hide from you? Because mine sure do. Okay. All I did was cut it. Now I made my own journaling card. I'm going to take the same corner rounder, but I'm going to use a smaller one. Round the corner. So now, do I want this over here? No, I can't. Okay. Now I have a journaling card here. And what you want to accomplish is this effect. Layering. See how you can see the back, the middle, and this little one? Oh, I didn't. And all I did was I corner rounded it so it, oh, no wonder. There we go. So it looked different. It catches your eye. This one is rounded also. I just hadn't done the journaling card. And this little, I call it a journaling card. You can put images on here like I did here. This came in the kit. If you remembered, I cut stuff out. I can put it here. And so now it's a journaling card, but it has some... it has an image on there. I can put it in the front to embellish. Same thing with this. Well, maybe not that one. That one's too big. This one, since this is a tag, it doesn't have anything. I can layer. I can put that here. I can take some lace. This is just a lace I had up there. I can take the lace and put it here. And see how I would cut it. And I just start layering. This little piece that I took off, maybe I can put it down here. And so, let me move this so you can see it. So you start giving it a different look. How about if I don't want that one? Maybe I can put this here. You can still use this lace. Maybe put it on top and on the bottom. This I can use in the front of a little tag. I have a library card that came with a kit. And so I can put that there. Where's the base? Here we go. I can put it here. And I hope that you're seeing the importance or the benefit you have of making this little list and pulling out the colors, because now the 3 colors that I chose, the cream, the light lilac, and the darker purple, look what happens is that everything in the kit matches. So now I can decorate the pocket with that. Now I can put this in the pocket here. See how I can move it from pocket to pocket? And it still quote unquote matches. Why? Because we took the time to do it. Do the list of the colors. Even this one. Look at the darker one. And so now, when you're going to make up your embellishments, see they have this one here. This was another embellishment that came with it. You can layer it up. And it'll work because you're working with the same colors, because you took the time to do your colors. This is a piece that I had cut off. Cut off of something. So now when I need to embellish this part, and this is just one embellishment, the journal card, the tag, and the base, we have options. Now we're not looking and seeing, oh, what am I going to use? No, we already have stuff. This came as part of the embellishment. This was a little tag, and we can put it there. We can put it here. Let's see what I have from my stash that will work. I have this ribbon that I just have in my stash, so I can put a piece of ribbon here, and then I can put this little label on top. I can put this ticket on top. See, all I did was take the white that I had wrote down. How about we use cream, because we had used the cream, right? And we put lace on there. And now let's see what we can do. How about we put a little ticket there on the side? How about we put a little font right there? Does it work? Yes. So now we have elements that we can start working with to make our embellishments with, and that's what I will be doing off camera. I will start making embellishments excuse me, for the journal, for the 2 travelers notebooks. I'm sorry, I'm used to saying journal all the time, but let's start by making this little journal card. I kind of liked the lace, maybe the white. I think it'll give more of a pop. There we go. What am I gonna put on top of there? I know I kind of like this here, so let me cut this off. My fabric. I have fabric scissors because it makes it easier. I'm gonna put this down, and it's right there. Oh, perfect. Okay. I'm gonna do that there. Well, that doesn't go there. I like this here, but I need something that, I had a button. Let me see. Nah, let's see. And so what I'm doing is the items that I cut off of the embellishment, the ephemera that came with a kit, I just put it in this little bucket that I bought at Michael's, this little bucket here. And I put all the bucket things there, the stuff from the embellishments. And then in this long one over here, I will start putting, this one I have them on my desk, but I will put the ribbons, things that I have pulled out from my stash. Yeah, this will work too. I will put them in this little bucket. I have them on the side. And so when I'm working with my embellishments, I will pull them out. And so now I have, you know, the little tags that I made. Now I just need to decorate them. I can pull ribbon from here that I know will work with my I know that it will work with my journal kit that I'm working with, because of the list that we made, that I went through, and I know that it will work. This one was white, the color white, purple cream. So all I did was I took a piece, my hole puncher, made a hole, and I took a piece of the ribbon that I had pulled that I said would work on it. Did I have to go to the store? No, because I had that. So now see how it all works? Now up here, I don't think, no, I didn't pull any purple because I don't have any purple ribbon in my stash. And I don't want to go buy a purple ribbon because I want to use what I have. Oh, I do have a purple ribbon. I see I kind of started pulling it here on the side. Right here I have this eyelash trim, or I have this. Somebody has sent me this in Happy Mail. Cut this off. I kind of like it right here. And then this was a tag that I had made. I will make a hole. Maybe I will make a bow. Yep. Let's see. Like this one, I threaded it up. And this one, I think I'm going to do it like this, which I make a knot. And I'm not going to make a bow, but I'm going to fold it this way. Then I'm going to cut this at an angle. Cut this at this angle. And so now, when I put it back in here, see, it has purple, it has white. I'm going to glue that down. And I'm going to look to see what I can put here. I kind of like this right here. But I need something there. And I think I have cute button. Oh, but that button's too thick. Ooh, look at this. I have purple buttons. I'm going to pull these out. It won't work with this one because the background's purple, but it will surely work with this one. And that's what I'm saying. Look through. Once you make your color, your list, where did it go? And you have all the little things that will work. Go through your items. I know I have a lot of these. They're embellishment boxes. They're boxes that you can find at Dollar Tree. Sometimes you find them. I have some because I ordered a whole case. So I have quite the supply of the boxes. And what I do is whenever people send me Happy Mail in my swaps, or if I go to thrift stores or whatever, I kind of put stuff that go together. Like all the buttons, I'll just put them in here. And then when I'm looking for a certain color of buttons, you know, I'm looking here. I have purple, green, cream, lilac, white, black, brown, light green. All I do is I go through here and I pull out those colors that I just named because we already went through the kit. And either I'll put them in a little box like that, or I'll put them in here. You know, I have the elements, the stuff that I cut out from the ephemera that came with a kit. I will put them just in there. So when I'm working with it, I'm like, oh, I think this will work. Oh, I have this eyelash trim. I have this lace. And so I have everything. And all I do is play. So now I just pull, I pull one out. And I'm like, oh, well, this won't work because of the purple. But it'll work here. And I just play with it. How about I can put one here over the ribbon? It makes a difference. Now I have, that one says thoughts, this one says Sunday. Let's see what else. I do keep all the scraps. This is a scrap from when I was making tags or trimming the little the paper for the notebook, I saved all my scraps from when I was making the tags. I saved them because this can be a decoration as well here, or I can fold it over and make a little paper clip. Save everything and work as you go through. And when you pull the ribbons and stuff that you're working with, that you already pulled, all you have to do is sit and play. So I hope that you are enjoying this Craft With Me series. Like I said, I'm no expert. I just like to create. I like to share what I've learned along the way and how it has helped me, you know, be able to grab a printable now and sit and play now, because now I know the process of doing things, like make your list of and then go through the stash. Before, when I didn't make my list, I would say, oh, I'm going to be making a this lavender and lace journal, or this lavender and lace kit for Nevermore Creations 17, and I don't have anything purple. Well, first of all, I did have stuff that was purple, but it was in my craft closet, and it's in a box. You can't see it, and I didn't know how to pull it out. I didn't take the time to pull it out, so then I didn't know. And guess where I would end up going? I would end up going to the store, and I would buy them. That was before I learned how to shop and wait until they were half off, or they were clearance, or I would find it at a thrift store. The same way as I'm talking to you right now. Look at what I'm doing. I am putting away my items. So now I know that I need to take out my little buckets, and I put them all together. So as I'm cleaning, like right now, I'm cleaning up because I'm fixing to finish this Craft With Me video. I am putting away everything together. So if I wanted to jump over to another project that I'm working on, before I would just have everything on my desk. Now I still have it on my desk, but look, it's contained to these two things, and then I have these on my shelf. So now I can even put them in here. Well, first I have to, there we go. So now I have two buckets. I put them on my shelf where my camera is. And now I can move on to another project, or, you know, have my desk clean for whatever I need it for, and move on. This is all stuff that I've learned. So before, I would say I don't have anything purple, and I would go to the store and end up with buying a whole bunch of stuff that was purple, which is fine. However, then I would be stuck with a lot of purple stuff, right? And out that money, because I was just buying for one project. So I hope that you're enjoying this Craft With Me, where I'm showing you my process, you know, and how this little list, the time that we take to go through our journal kit and write this down and look at it, it helps you build up your little kit. How many times have we seen, or I've seen, a kit for sale, which is awesome. And I am going to bring those. That's in the process for me. I am putting together a Craft With Me kit that I'm going to be offering for those that are interested. I am going to have the project already made. I'm going to show you that this is a project that I'm going to show you how to make. And I'll be putting together a limited amount of kits where you will come to my Facebook group, and whoever purchased the kit will get into that limited Facebook group, and the price will include the video tutorials, the kit, so that you can craft with me and we can go step by step. And instead of you doing all this, you would get, maybe not all this, but the amount of things needed, so that you could follow with me and we can do a project start to finish, so you'll be able to craft along with me and have that project, and you'll already know and get a feeling of how to make that project for your future endeavors. So let me know down below what theme you would like to see being used in that craft with me kit that I am putting together. How about what colors? And tell me if you're interested in it so that I know around how many people are interested, what colors you're looking for. Do you want brights? Do you want neutrals? Do you want pastels? Do you want neons? I mean, what is it that you're looking for? And so that when I start putting my kits together, I can take that into consideration and we can move from there. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. It means the world to me. I hope that you're enjoying this craft with me series as I take you through the process of making my creations. Like I said, I'm by no means an expert, but I'm a crafter. I love it. I use it as my therapy when I'm upset, when I need to just let off some steam, when I need to relax, when I've taken my pain meds and I'm just having a bad day as far as pain levels, or I'm needing to relax to escape from whatever's going on. Crafting for me is that. I love it. I love it. I hope that it's helping you. Let me know down in the comment section if you have any questions. Maybe I went through something really fast. You have a question or a concern, please let me know. I will answer you. I don't know when, but I will answer you. Thank you for stopping by my channel. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. Share it, wherever you can share it. And stay tuned for part 3, where I'll come back and I will show you what I've done so far as embellishments. And I will also have some ready to make so I can show you my process on how I make the embellishments. I'll show you how to do that, how to put them together, how to glue them, what works, what doesn't work. That will be part 3 of this series of Lavender and Lace Journal. But in this case, it will be the Traveler's Notebook inserts that I'm making, 2 of them, which will be up for sale at the end of this Craft With Me video series. So give me a thumbs up and I hope to see you in part 3. Bye, my friends. Have a great day, and as always, happy crafting. Bye.